Architecture. You know about architecture, Phil?
Yeah. So, just throwing to maybe. Yeah, that'd be great. Last time I did this, I turned my light.
Is there something we need to pull out here?
What? No, it's fine.
It's a remote too, but you have to plug the remote in.
I don't know how many people have been to these meetings before. Just to orient you, this is the lower middle school, the new building. That's the existing Metro facility, which is being encapsulated in our project, and it's below all of this that the new parking is. That's the existing high school. This is the existing high school, proposed new building, lower middle school and shared facilities over here, the Athenaeum and a gallery space that opens to the street is along that edge. The two residential retail buildings straddle the alignment of Davenport Street. One on the north, this triangular piece, and then one on the south, which is sort of a V shape with a courtyard in the middle. The entrance to both those buildings are off of Wisconsin. At Wisconsin, you have to be level with retail along the street itself, and this retail overlooks an extra pole space, and a space large enough for a grocery store. Along this edge, along 42nd Street, are units that are direct access from the street, and below it over here will be some more retail next. So these are, I think some people are concerned about height. We posted several things on this. This is the north building. Sorry, this is the north building, the south residential retail building, the existing high school, and the proposed lower middle school with a field on the roof, below which is also the Metro building. What we did was, people asked, well, how high are these buildings along the street? And so, if you were standing on the street and you measured this building, it's not the zoning method for measuring it. This building would be 74 feet high. At this location, as the street goes down and you're standing there, it would be relatively taller, it'd be 84 feet. Just for comparison, if you were in Tenley Hill, if you went as far south as you could, which is uphill, that building would be 77 feet. And as you walk down to Davenport, it would be taller. If you measured it at that point, it'd be 86 feet. And if you go to the north building, its corner right at Davenport, it would be 73 feet high. So about 13 feet lower than Tenley Hill. But if you stood here and you measured it, it would be 87 feet high at that location and this location, because the street is flat over here. Then as you come down these steps, there's about a 14 to 15 foot change in grade. So this same building would be taller at this location, 97 feet, but then appear to be shorter as you headed south because the street rises 5 feet, so it'd be 92 feet here. The top of this field, if you're standing on the sidewalk, it'd be 26 feet here and here along 42nd. And then as you walk down Ellicott, because the street slopes down, it would be 37 feet related to the sidewalk. Just for comparison, as you're walking along 43rd, the townhouses vary from, well, there's a small short building here, addition to this house, 27 feet, but most of them are 31 to 34 feet high, which is not the difference between these two, because the rooftop elevation here is 358, and these are 30 feet, these are 342. So there's about a 12-foot absolute difference here in terms of sea level.
Is that including the fence or without the fence?
What's that?
Is that including the fence on top, or is that?
No, we would have a glass rail along here to, as a fence to stop sound, and like a tennis ball or something. Because, kids playing there could make some noise, so we always thought that about an 8-foot wall of laminated glass would be a good thing, within planting along the edge.
Are you going to need a net or a fence to catch balls?
We will probably have something that we can raise and then take down, like the Good Hands people for the point after. Edge of the field, that says 26 feet. All the cooling equipment for the Metro building, which currently sits here, closer to the community, will be relocated to this gray strip. And that that would also be where we had elevator and stair access to the roof from the school below. You actually go all the way down into the parking garage. So if a visiting team got off a bus in the basement of the building, they could take the elevator and the stairs straight up to the roof, which would have a turf field on it. So that, I think that pretty much explains where the plan is there. Next. Now these, I don't know if you can understand this drawing so well, but these are the two, and we've taken these sections through here to show you the landscape plan and the double row of trees that are going to line 42nd Street, and the trees that are new trees and landscaping and streetscape along Wisconsin Avenue, and then a park that's being developed at Ellicott in Wisconsin, partly through the removal of the straightaway that allows people to go racing down the street. So we tried to impose traffic calming measures all along here, bumping out the edge of the sidewalk here. As you see further down Wisconsin, as you go towards Nebraska now, they build those bubbles so that pedestrians have a shorter crossing distance. So here it'd only be about 24 feet across. So we have a lane that goes south, one that goes north, and then a strip of parking along the edge there. That's where those townhouse style units are. They're direct access. We've designed units like this around the city. You go to our website or you contact us, we can tell you where those are if you're interested in actually walking around and seeing those, or we'll give a tour if people like. And so that you know the park. And so there's dining along the street. There's a sort of a community gathering space here, and then this stairway that connects Wisconsin down to Davenport and then into the campus, which is where cars would go there. Next, I'll show you some of the sections. Here's that park, Ellicott Park, named after Andrew Ellicott of the street, who actually, when you look at maps of DC and you think it's a L'Enfant plan, it's actually Ellicott's drawing of the L'Enfant plan and his final adjustments to L'Enfant's actual design. Even though they didn't design this area, we thought that was a nice idea to honor that person's contributed so much to the city. And the landscape architect, Lemonbrook from Boston, provided a number of different options, and the one that is being proposed right now is one where there are these rocks in here for kids to play on, and then sort of what you call sort of a splash fountain. So no standing water, but when the fountain's operating, it's spraying, and people can cavort in there, I guess, kids, and some greenery on the edge there. We had to work around these two vents. These are vents that allow the air pressure in the metro tunnel below not to blow people through the Friendship Heights station. It sort of allows like a pressure release vent. This is the metro building, and this is a stairway up to the cooling towers that you rent here. And you can see the section. There's that vent. There are the plantings, and there are the rocks. Next. This is an example of those kinds of parks. I don't know if anybody's been down to Canal Park around the ballpark. It's really quite an amazing space, and I think there's something like this also in Silver Spring. Next. This is a rendering of some of the kids playing in there, and this is that street. There's the school. This is this gallery space we're developing, so there can be sort of art shows and people can come in. There's a main entrance into the school, pedestrian entrance, not a vehicular entrance here. This is the end of the north building with a marketplace. Next. And so what we have along this edge are sort of a continuous bench with a light under it, so that there's if you go to Central Park in New York, it looks good. If there's nobody there, it also looks good with crowds, and that's a nice trick in architecture to sort of make a place look good, whether it's filled with people or not. There are plenty of spaces that look really dispiriting because you know that people are supposed to be there, but they're not. This, I think, solves that. So we have a strip of trees and what's called low-impact development. It's a way of harvesting rainwater from the sidewalk that is sort of a requirement in DC now on both sides. And then this is the main entrance into the school. This is the gallery space. This is the area that we've made large enough for a grocery store that would then be serviced from inside our residential retail building. So there are no trucks backing in or out of any of the streets here. We figured out a way to bring the trucks in, turn them around, and bring them out head first. That's something the Department of Transportation appreciates, and as a city resident, I appreciate too. Next. Here's a picture, different renderer this time, showing that market space with the residential building above. I don't know if anybody, the last time you saw this, this was very bland. This actually has a lot more of the relief and details that characterize most of the buildings we've done over the last 20 years, and I've done over the last, God knows how many years, 35 here in the district. So
how far out should those bays project?
these are 4 feet. That's a kind of a standard bay projection in the district. And it allows people to have views up and down the street. So if you go down, any of you know Senate Square behind Union Station, red brick building, much bigger than this. That's one of our buildings that has sort of these double height windows, and then retail at the base of the building. Next. This is a view. There's that gallery and some of the kids. It's the lunchtime, I guess, they're out eating. And there's the retail space, the market, the lunch lot. And there's that park with the rock in the creek. Maybe it should be called Rock Creek Park. But anyway, so it's a rock park and temporary creek. Next. I'm going fast because I figure people want
Yeah, I agree, but how many more slides do you have?
and not too many. This is almost it. So you've seen this one before. There's the existing high school. And what we're proposing is something we've done on a number of buildings, is to come up with a unit type where you come to your unit from inside the building if you like, but you also have direct access to grade. And we've done that at Senate Square. We've done that at 401 Massachusetts Avenue. We've also done that at 910 M Street, a project called the Whitman, very popular because in those units people have like a double height space and they sleep upstairs, but they actually have a 2-story living room right at the end and their own little garden so they can go out there and have dinner, have kibitz, whatever. If you go down and look at that project, you'll see that actually it's very gratifying if you're an architect and you do something and people actually do what you expected. You realize it wasn't just baloney you were saying. Thanks. But sometimes that is the case. This is the passageway between the two buildings, 10-way steps. So there's retail at the corner here, and as you go around there, the entrance to the apartment house is hidden by that tree, but it's right back there, and the entrance to this apartment building's back there. So there's retail on either side, a gathering space in the middle. And this is the building above, and sort of curved space there. If you know a lot of our buildings, if you look at our website, you'll see we like to use curves. I don't understand why people use straight walls. It seems contractors have such a hard time getting things straight that we figure we might as well just go with the flow and make them curve. we can never check because you can never get a place to check the radius of. But they complain nonetheless. And you can see this is fully developed. This needs a little bit more detail. But you can see units on the second floor. So it's nice to have that sense of habitation, that it's not just a retail mall, but there are people living here, using these stores, and sort of open to the community. You know, my son went to GDS, and I know how bare this area can be, and it's nice to see something, I think, that's going to connect the retail north and south and make that a nice evening stroll, not just like, oh, we have to walk past the closed Volvo dealership to get to, we used to eat at Yasaku a lot, and then we'd walk up a block, sometimes eat somewhere else. Next, I think this may be it. This is a view from inside the campus, going up the steps, or retail on either side. Next. Okay, so I think this is zoning.
Whoa.
Go to the next one. I think that's
The next one?
Next.
yeah.
This is, okay, and just 2 minutes on zoning, and then if that's all right from Phil.
Right.
Here you go.
Thanks.